Oh, there's a bit of a lag there. I think we might have lost Kevin.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, are you here?
You are. Yes, I can hear you. I just couldn't see you for a second, but there you are. We're back.
We're back. We're back in the yellow room.
Back in the yellow room. For anybody who's listening on with only the audio, I am sitting on Skype with Kevin, and the room I'm recording in my house, still on Skype, is very, very yellow. It is. The lampshade is very, very yellow.
It's blinding. I feel like I need to be wearing my sunglasses or something. Holy Moses! It's your tanning room.
Yeah, you're still hiding where you are, though. You have your back obscured.
Yeah, I do. No, you don't need to see this. But it's no. I'm quite pleased with the background I selected. It makes me look more sophisticated.
Yeah, exactly. So, dude, it's been 3 months since we recorded an episode of this.
It has. We just spoke about it there before we hit record. Yeah, 3 months since our last episode. The last episode was called
Royal
Flush. Yeah. Episode. What did we say? Episode 16.
16. Yeah. This is episode 17. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. It's
we were saying we need to get back to somewhere similar to our original start, where we can do all of our chocolate or poo quizzes and the newses and.
Yeah, absolutely. History. It would be brilliant. It would be really nice, because I was chatting to one of our only listeners, Jason. Hi, Jason. You'd be delighted to see a new episode go up. Just see the figure. Fuck you, Jason. It was actually his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Jason.
Happy birthday, Jason. One day closer to the grave.
He's 33. He's in the 33 club, as I am. You're not. You're what, 30?
I'm 37.
37. Holy Moses.
In a couple of months, I'll be 37. I'm 36 and a half.
Okay. That's really important.
I'm nearly grown up yet. I'm nearly grown up.
Yeah, nearly. What was I saying before that?
What was Jason saying?
What was Jason saying? No, Jason was saying that he really enjoyed the older episodes of the podcast, because we did the quizzes, we did the facts and the funny news, where we actually put a bit of effort into the show. We actually prepared a little bit, when we were supposed to be working.
Oh yeah, working.
Yeah. Some people were copying and pasting things onto Word documents and then printing them off, and in our secret location in the Northern Hemisphere.
That has since been overrun, and we've had to leave it behind. We had to abandon that forward shelter, and
Yeah. In fairness, that shelter, you've abandoned that shelter completely at the minute, haven't you?
Oh, I have. I've gone rogue. I've gone.
Yeah. It's gone Black Ops.
Yeah. I'm now out in some little listening post out in the mountains somewhere.
Yeah.
Working for the CIA decrypting communications. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, Lord.
You helped me get there too. You were the one.
I did.
You're the one who was like, that asshole, transfer him.
Yeah, absolutely. See that guy? He needs to come over here. And then what happens a month and a half later? I am jumping ship.
But the thing is, I'm worried about that, because it sounds like what does he know that I don't? There's something
God, I tell you, if I knew, that's the thing. I still don't even know where I'm jumping ship to. So that's the worry. It's about 3-4 weeks away. So
it always reminded me of that movie Independence Day. What was it? The father of your man who decrypted the code. Remember Jeff Goldblum?
Oh yeah.
The guy who played his father was like, look at this. Every schmuck is trying to get out of DC, and we're the only ones trying to get back in. He said, what is it? You don't.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum. What an actor.
Brilliant movie, yeah.
Yeah. That was good.
We should definitely get back to our old familiar,
Yeah.
Similar. We should do that again and get our quiz up and going, and we never got around to eating the salami episode. We only ever did the cheese episode.
No, we were rudely interrupted then at our secret location. And
was the meat, the salami we were eating and everything was really nice.
It was lovely, it was. And we were about 15-20 minutes into it, and then all of a sudden, remember us two just being like,
oh shit.
Oh, crap. What was that? Bit of technical issues going on there in the background. But yeah, no, we definitely should though. We should definitely have a the finer things episode.
Minor life episode,
Our
yeah.
imaginary ties. We're gonna have more Malk.
Malk, yeah.
What's that from? Malk.
Oh God,
Is it The
there was
Simpsons?
there was something with the Simpsons. It wasn't that. Was it one of them episodes where the school had cutbacks?
Oh yeah.
Now with vitamin R or something like that.
Put it in H.
Well, but the thing was that when you said that, I knew it was the Simpsons, but something else popped into my head, and it was that episode. It was that movie. Did you ever see those Ernest movies?
Oh, Ernest Goes. Yeah, I look probably seen a few of them, but I don't remember any of them. If I'm honest.
I remember the Halloween one because I watched it like dozens of times when I was a kid, and like
Yeah.
one of the things that defeated the troll monsters was milk. Throw milk at the monster, and he just goes, he disintegrates or whatever. It was just, and that was it. Like, brilliant.
This is it.
No, definitely. I want to get back and doing the chocolate or poo quizzes because
Yeah.
you know you are an absolute cheating, underhanded scoundrel, and you just
What?
I can't leave you with 2 out of 1 victories. Like you're 2 out of 3 victories. Like so, I'm gonna have to get my game back. Even when you had your best friend Dave on the episode a couple of episodes ago, you and him were doing that, and you just cheated. I mean,
But I think he's figured out pretty much every answer was false or something, or I don't know what. I can't really remember. What was he? That was about. Oh God, I can't remember.
that was the movie questions or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you had a whole Steve Carell.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Steve Carell. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, and I had all the sound effects going and everything. See, when we put a bit more effort into it, But I've asked Jason a couple of times that he does want to, jump on and do an episode. So that's a future episode there in the making. But anyway, back to today's episode. What's on your mind, Amondo?
As I was saying to you there before we started recording, the big piece of news was that Ireland is the place to be in case of a zombie apocalypse and the end of the world comes. When QAnon's what they call predictions come true, man. And then Bill Gates activates the 5G and tries to kill us all. That's Ireland's the place to be.
Yeah.
Because how crappy our internet is. The 5G won't kill us out here.
The zombies won't either, though. Apparently.
I know. I remember hearing on the radio because I was driving to work one day and I was listening to the guys on the radio and they were talking about. Actually, no, I was coming home from work and they were talking about why Ireland is one of those places. Because for years I had heard all those guys on the internet talking about, oh, I'm going to move to New Zealand. Because the economy is collapsing, the cities were on fire with the Black Lives Matter protests and everything, guys. And they're like, oh no, rich people are moving to New Zealand because that's the safest place to be when the whole House of Cards comes down. And the guys that were on the radio were talking about it was the fact that just this think tank did a survey and they found that in a calamity or a catastrophe like a pandemic or if civil war or whatever, something happened like another major European war or whatever, Ireland would be the place to be because it's hard to get across to you if there's civil unrest. It's not like all across the border from France into Germany. You know what I mean? And so you can grow your own food. There's not a lot of people here. There's only 5 million of us, and it's not like there's going to be anything major. And you can produce your own.
The weather's fairly.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can produce your own energy as well. I mean, if we switched off all of the luxuries and just basically went for survival, you can do it with wind and peat bog and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm going to sneeze now. Oh.
We really should be wearing masks. This is not safe.
This really isn't safe. If I sneeze into this camera, it will just go straight out there to you,
Well, I'm already getting. Do you want this spit back? Because it's just. Like,
no, fucking allergies, man. I'm actually, I'm going to see one of those. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's like someone who figures out what you're allergic to.
Oh yeah,
A physiologist or something, or
what?
A physiologist? No.
Ooh.
Something like that.
There's a word for the day, physiologist.
No, that's not what it's pronounced, but it's something like that. Something ologist. I'm going to see her next week, or this week, on Wednesday.
That's an expert who grabs you.
Who grabs me? Something like that. I don't know.
Ologist.
It says cough. No.
You're going to go see what you're allergic to?
Yeah, because my allergies are just, they're they're a pain. And the little lad is I'm pretty sure he has them now as well because his nose is just streaming.
You and I both have a hay fever thing, but I mean, I've been fine for the last few weeks, or the last week or two now that the hot weather's gone and the rain.
No. Mine is yearly. It's all year round. Like mine doesn't go away, so it's not good. I don't know if it's dairy. Here's me drinking like cups of milk. So
Dairy, yeah. You could be allergic to married life and women, wife and kids and all that kind of thing. You should become single, drink video games, it'll be good for you.
Great for your health.
Great for your health, exactly. I suppose we should get back to our old, familiar. We start talking about Star Trek and stuff.
Oh God! And everyone switches off. I know.
all one of our female switches off.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say I'm drinking my Canter Still White.
Stuff. There you
go. But yeah, I think we said we were going to watch some Picard. Did you watch any?
Get a chance to. I ended up watching an episode of Lower Decks though. That was funny.
I still haven't watched that. I've watched 3 episodes of Picard, and this is going back a while ago when it first came out. I watched the first 3 episodes, and I can vaguely remember most of it, but it was okay. It didn't really grab me very, very well, but it was okay.
Do Facebook count as watching Picard? Because that's about as much as I've done. Like, it's just looking at it.
I would rate it a little bit more than I rated Discovery, even though I watched 2 seasons of that. I didn't bother my whole watching the 3rd season. I just no. I think you watched it, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there's equally as much crying in the 3rd season as there was in the first.
That meme I sent you, yeah, God, just no.
Yeah, no. Look, there's like, don't get me wrong. You're meant to. Star Trek does deal with some things that about our society that we could have better. I mean, they did it in all of them. They dealt with racial profiling and criminality in Voyager. They did what they call it. A lot of other things. Same-sex relationships in DS9 and all this.
Yeah.
Real something. I remember that drug addiction, slavery, and in the next you talked about with what were the name of the guys again? Remember they had that drug that they were addicted to, and they were trying to
catch White.
No, in the Next Generation. You remember we did an episode about it?
Oh, we did. Oh, feck, what they were called? Oh no, because of B or something, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, they dealt with all these kinds of things. But they're whinging a bit too much in Discovery. It's just like,
it's a bit too woke. I think that's the right reference use of that word. Woke. Is that right?
Yeah.
I have awoken.
Look, man, I'm only 37, and these youngsters today, I just don't understand. I just don't get them anymore. I really don't.
I don't know if I want to get them, but I don't know. Yeah. No, I'm enjoying rewatching. I'm rewatching the Next Generation at the minute. Slowly, I'll warrant, because I'm also alongside rewatching that, I'm also rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So quality television. Love that show. So
tell you, I met the guy who played Spike out of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
James Masters, very cool.
I was as close as I am to you. No, I'm only joking. I was standing fairly close to him because I was at Comic-Con with a couple of people, and what they call at the table that we were going to was the guy who played the Green Power Ranger.
Yeah.
And right next to him was the guy who played Buffy or Spike from, what is his name, Masterson or something you said?
Yeah, James Masters.
The guy who played Saru was on the other side.
Yeah. Was there a big queue for Spike?
There was a decent enough queue for him, actually. Mostly women. I'll admit, like, it was mostly some of the female fans of Comic-Con were there for him.
I mean, look.
They had that anti-vax guy, James Sorbost, who played Hercules as well. He was on the other side of him.
Seriously? Jeez. I suppose was he anti-vax then, or?
Oh, dude, I think he's been a bit looking, a turkey short of a turkey sandwich for a while now. Like, you know.
That's surprising because he seems like I don't know, just a coolish dude, I suppose. But yeah.
Look, he's okay, but I mean, he's an actor. I mean, I remember I told you this kind of joke before. I mean, even the Romans were like, during real public holidays and all this kind of thing that were really serious events going on in the city, no prostitutes, no unclean tradesmen, the people who handle the dead, and no actors were allowed in attendance because these are, performing monkeys. Nobody likes these people. They're neurotic and they're crazy.
Yeah. They're narcissistic.
Nobody.
All those, yeah.
But the guy Jonathan Frakes was there as well. He was 2 tables down, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that would have been pretty awesome. No, James Marsters is a cool dude. He does a savage English accent. You'd think he was English. I did when I first started watching the show years and years ago. But he's American. But
he's American, is he?
Yeah. Quality English accent though, like very, very good accent.
Usually Americans screw up other people's accents, but that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's spot on. Like you'd think again, he swear he was English. Like, but
did you see?
I remember he did the voice of Lex Luthor in like an animated DC thing for the Justice League. It was like an animated movie, and it was really good actually. And I was like, that's James. I recognized the voice straight away, and I googled it. And I was like, holy feck, it was him. But yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. He did a good job. Spike.
Americans doing crappy accents. Did you see that? The one they filmed in Northern Ireland or Donegal or something like that, and the Americans.
Oh, I said it was back. Oh, what was it called?
I can't remember. It was so.
I saw a trailer for it though. Holy, it was awful, and it was a British actress in it as well. Like her accent was just as bad.
Yeah, and I mean, like, how can it be that bad? Like, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather it be like what they call it, something I actually rewatched. Speaking of your rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I was rewatching Chernobyl, HBO's Chernobyl, and like they decided nobody does a Russian accent because you're not fucking Russians, and it was just be yourselves.
Yeah.
And the only guy who has an accent is Stellan Skarsgård, and he does that, that deep gravelly voice. You remember him? Yeah, and but he sounds like he's Russian anyway because he's Swedish, so he has that, Northern Baltic voice to him.
Exactly.
So I mean, but the rest of them were all just English, and it was just like it worked perfectly. I think they should have just left it at that. If you sounded like you're an American, I can suspend belief for an hour and a half of a movie. If you tell me you're from Donegal, I would forgive the accent.
Yeah.
Sound like you're from Texas. Just.
I was listening to Today FM when it was kind of when they were shooting it, and they had Gift Grub on, your man.
Mario Rosenstock.
Mario Rosenstock, and they got it. He was taking the piss out of it, obviously, and they got Michael Flatley in to do the voice coach. Diddly. It's just quality stuff. But yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah. Anyway, you watching any of these Olympics? Are you?
Oh no, I haven't.
I thought you mightn't be.
I thought no, I may have caught the highlights of the women's volleyball game, but that's about it. Like,
They're not wearing full bodysuits now, no?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
that was the water polo or something, or I don't know, table tennis. I don't know what I saw some Danish women's team. I can't remember what sport. I thought it was volleyball. Maybe it was. Yeah,
actually, I think I seen a meme about that somewhere. It was there's some of them now are wearing the full bodysuit.
Yeah, the German something team are wearing like full suits, which is fair enough. Like,
to be honest, I couldn't care. I wouldn't watch it even if I was on the beach and they were playing volleyball. Like, to be honest,
I get bored of it after about 2 minutes. But then on the flip side, on the other side of the argument, there was a woman. I can't remember again what sport it was, but she wore like shorts, and then they gave out to her saying it was. She needed to wear the real skimpy things. Or no, sorry, no. She wore the real skimpy things, and then the whoever it is, the adjudicator said that they were too tight. They were too distracting, and it was a woman adjudicator. And then she's like, "These are purposely made for this sport, for me to be, streamlined or whatever." And you're giving and it was just like, you can't win either way. Like, it's just.
To be honest, I've never really been much of a sports fan anyway. I mean, you're the huge football fan and everything else. You're the sports fan of the two.
Yeah, I've only watched bits and pieces of the Olympics. We were over at my home house yesterday, myself, the wife, and the little lad, and
on the construction site. Yeah.
No, at my home house, at home, my parents' house. But my dad would be mad at the Olympics, and he had it on. He was watching everything, like switching between the equestrian side of it to the swimming to the all the athletics have started now, like the sprinting and stuff. Yeah, it was just so I watched it with him. And I was all right. It was kind of just like, oh. But fair play. Like it seems like the setup is pretty good with all with the COVID. regulations, whatever that they have in the procedures and stuff that the guys have to follow. So
I was watching Real Time with Bill Maher, and he was talking about it on YouTube. And I swear to God, I was working. I wasn't just watching YouTube videos. But Real Time with Bill Maher, the guy your man was talking about, he said it's the Olympics now has become like the Oscars. 3 people got fired for. One of them was for a comment he made in a private conversation that he called. There was somebody who was fat, and he called it something the Whale Olympics or something like that. This was back in 1996.
yeah,
and he, from the Olympics to now for something he said. Somebody else made a joke about something in 2001 and got fired 20 years later for it. And the guy who does the music, I think it was a coordinator of the music, got fired as well for something.
yeah.
He got fired for saying he bullied some children when he was 12 or 13 in school. That he was bullied in school, and they let him go because it's not it's like talk about.
Oh my God. It's just like I'm all for making sure that people are respectful in that and appropriate, but like that's just taking the piss. Like there's PC, and then there's just like ridiculously like bringing things like that from the past, like years and years ago. Granted, look, if you tweet something 2 years ago and it gets pulled up now or something, that's fair enough. But something from like 20 years, whatever, 96.
There's got to be a statute of limitations on your bullshit mistake.
Has to be. Like
it wasn't even like he made a mistake. He made a fat person joke. I'm fat. I'm fat, and I'm fat people jokes. I mean, like, I did this to myself. I put the donuts in here. It wasn't like.
But I think was it you that sent me a meme where you're the sprinter from America couldn't go because she was she had taken a blood test sample and they found weed or whatever in her system, and the Olympics Committee of America wouldn't let her go. They banned her, and then a chap who was being investigated for he's being accused of sexually assaulting 3 women. His suspension was lifted and he was allowed to go. He's some American fencer, so he was allowed to go and she wasn't.
Wasn't me, but it sounds about right.
Yeah. Oh, because I didn't know your man's name, and I saw it and it came up today on a newsfeed thing I was reading, and I read about it and I was just like, holy God! And you know what they did? His teammates, when they were all standing up with the national anthems, there's 4 of them, so he wore a black face mask, and the 3 others wore pink in protest against him being allowed to go. His own teammates, like, and he was saying it's ridiculous. He actually, I think he verbally attacked 2 of them, and was just saying it's ridiculous. I haven't done anything wrong and all this kind of stuff. Like, so it's just I don't know.
I mean,
madness.
That Olympic swimmer a few years ago, what was his name? Stephen Phelps. The guy who he's practically Aquaman. Like, I mean,
he's won. I think he's won the most medals at the Olympics. He's got like 20 or something.
I think what they call it, one of his samples tested positive for marijuana, and he turned around and was like, "You really think that's a performance-enhancing drug?"
Seriously, like.
Come on, like, do you really think that? I don't think he does the professional swimming too much anymore, but he's just like, you think that was a performance-enhancing drug? He was doing that to relax after fucking 19 hours in a swimming pool for the last 2 days, like.
Oh my God! And I think you're one the sprinter. I don't know. I think she lost her mum or something. She was going through a tough time or whatever, and she wanted to take the edge off. And
it's like, I mean, she's a college age, what they call it, person in their 20s. I mean, I swear to God, if you drug tested Trinity College, just the law studies department alone,
alone, Bez,
you know what I mean? Come on, half of Harvard would be expelled, like, if you did
exactly. That. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's taking the piss, like. Do you know who I'd love to? Huh?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, do you know who I'd love to get on the show as well? When I was up last weekend with the lads, we had a bit of a lads' evening. Was it me, Jason? Fuck you, Jason. His brother Declan. We won't say fuck you, Declan, because he's sound. I know Jason's also sound.
Declan's all right.
Yeah,
brother, he's a bit of a prick.
We have a German friend. His name is Fabian. He's 6'8", big tall lad, huge lad. But he is he's hilarious.
Before you go any further, of course his name is Fabian. Your friend, you met him at a football match. when you were in Berlin. Like, and his name is Fabian. Yeah.
Didn't mean that a Berlin football match. I've known him since I was like, I
In
don't
for
know,
a
15,
surprise
16.
You know that your wife is in for an unwelcome surprise 9 years from now.
Will you stop? But he is. Oh, he's just. I just even just record him talking, because now in fairness he'd be a lot closer to Jason and Declan than he would be me. But just talking to them about the stuff they used to pull on him, the pranks they used to pull on him, and like, it's gas. Like, he'd be a big gamer as well. I think he's like an Xbox and a PlayStation, like the new PS6 or whatever. Is it a PS6 or PS5? I don't know.
Five.
I think he has one, or maybe two. I don't know.
So
But
he doesn't have a wife or children, because those things are
he
like.
does. He has one wife and a child. One wife. Well, he's not married, actually. Sorry, no, they're not married.
Because those €700, so he has a very understanding girlfriend, or they have separate bank accounts.
That I don't know. I'll have to ask him when he comes on the show. Oh, he's hilarious. Like, he's in Egypt, but he's a funny. He's a lovable Egypt, but he works himself and Jason both work for Apple. So
there you go.
There you go.
Instant right now.
Yeah. But no, anyway, we're moving slightly off topic. I don't know. I was looking up stuff to talk about. I was trying to look up news in a nutshell, like for the last little while.
We definitely should get your non-gay lover Fabian onto the podcast. That'd be awesome.
What about your friend Letmus or something, or
Lamus? Yeah,
Lamus.
Lithuanian friend Lamus. Hey, fuck you, man. Me and him have been through the wars together. Okay, we've seen some shit. We both worked in a particular Irish fast food restaurant at 4 a.m. We used to close up. The amount of drunken, lecherous Aegis that we had to throw cheeseburgers at just so they wouldn't kill us. We've been through our own metaphorical Vietnam. You don't know, man. You weren't there.
You were there, man. We were going to do a show with him over Christmas, but
like me and you, he's working, all the way through the pandemic. He hasn't stopped either, because he's been working for a particular company that
sells.
Stuff. So he's been flat out, and he's just he goes to Northern Ireland and then he comes back and everything else there. So
Yeah, and he's got kids as well, and I know he's yeah.
But we can around the kids. I mean, do we really care? That's what women are for, Not that I'm ever going to get cancelled for that in the
absolutely future. Not. Cancel him. Yeah,
that was a joke.
It was a joke.
Comedy show.
This is what this is. If you look up our hashtags on YouTube and on Twitter, it is under comedy.
If anybody is unfamiliar with the particular website that me and you have sometimes gone for memes, this is everything here is a complete work of fiction. Anybody that takes anything seriously here is an idiot.
He's looking at you, Jason. Oh God, I do love that man though. But yeah, news. And I'm looking at it through here. Obviously, COVID. Something else other than COVID. It's kind of.
I could tell you there is something else other than COVID. There's a couple of cases of is it monkeypox or something?
Monkeypox. I heard about this actually. Yeah, it's not in Ireland though, is it? It's Is it in America? Is it? Yeah. Belarusian sprinter though, Christiana, I cannot pronounce that last name, 24, posted a video on her Instagram which she criticized the Belarusian Olympic officials for telling her that after she arrived in Tokyo that she must run blah blah. Basically, she got deported from the Olympics, and now she's put it up that she's been kidnapped or something by her government, which is pretty mad.
Well, Belarusia is a complete dictatorship. I mean, it's so bad.
Isn't that where an airplane flew over, an Airlink or Ryanair or something flew over, and they were forced to land it?
Yeah.
So the Russians could come in and
yeah. They grounded it just so they could arrest the journalist who was critical of the government. Like, look, the European Union doesn't even allow its airplanes to fly over there anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It really is.
Over Myanmar, the head of their armed forces has taken power, but he says apparently he's going to have an election. We'll see how that one goes. Yeah. Additional world news: Biden wants Putin to behave.
Oh, behave, darling.
Wildfires are really the in thing nowadays. Not just in America. Apparently, they're in Turkey now. Go figure. Crowds defy ban to protest coronavirus measures in Berlin. I saw there's a lot of protests in England as well, actually.
What's that?
For protests against new measures brought in, like for face masks and stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be the whole thing that we had here. Like there was a guy on the radio complaining about, you know, the way if you wanted to go now to a restaurant here, you have to prove that you've been vaccinated.
Oh yeah.
But that's discriminating against those who don't want to get vaccinated. And the person on the radio was like, you know, so you're anti-vaccination. He goes, oh no, I've gotten vaccinated. I get the flu vaccine every year. And he's like, well, why didn't you get the coronavirus, the COVID vaccine? And he's like, oh, I just didn't trust it. He goes, but it's made by the same people who make the flu vaccine. He goes, yeah, but this one, I don't know.
For God's sake, yeah, I don't know. You know, it's more becoming now about the fact that people, realise, you know, they're making it more about the fact that they can't go out and get pissed blind drunk, than actually, you know, saving lives. Like they're allowing 20,000 at the GAA semi-finals and 44,000 or whatever at the final, but yet they won't allow, you know, theatre or music for people. You know, where's the logic in that?
Was the guys where there was I know there's a meme going around and it was people are out. Oh, I can hear myself. Yeah, people were freaking out about the 2% mortality rate, saying we just, you know, it's not too bad. But they're freaking out about the small 0.0001% chance of dying.
You sent me that meme literally 10 minutes before we started rocking on with this episode. So yeah. Oh, dude, it's crazy. There's so much as well, like non-COVID related. You know, your own Catherine Zappone, who was the Minister for Children.
Yes.
And social protection she was. Anyway, she was an independent. She's just been named Irish, like not ambassador, but like representative to the UN for, I can't exactly remember what it was, but she just got appointed. And Simon Coveney has come out and put his hands up and said he was responsible for the appointment. And basically, people were given out about it because it didn't go through the proper procurement. Yeah. You know, they didn't advertise the position; they just gave it to her. And it was just like, well, she lives in New York, or she travels there because she's a Yank, she's American, so it was kind of perfect because obviously the UN head office is in New York. So, it's not a full-time gig, and they were talking about it on the radio. You know, she won't get much money for it. It's probably only about $50,000 a year. And I'm like, what? That is huge money. It's coming out of, you know, our back pocket.
Have a Coveney that he was like, I'll nominate you, I swear.
Exactly. She has to know something like.
Yeah. We can't fire this bitch, so why don't we just transfer her?
Yeah. It didn't annoy me, like, but it was just, and you know what as well, it was, they pulled up her tweets from her from a few years ago when she was, I think, you know, obviously in opposition, and she said how it was so important to be transparent in in appointing people into positions within the government and advisory roles and stuff like that, and now she's obviously on the other side of that, so it's just like, you just can't trust a politician. Sure, we always knew that, didn't we?
Well, look, if you pull up my tweets, if I ever decide to go into politics and somebody pulls up my tweets, I will have absolutely every jogger in the country hating me because my first year and a half on Twitter was a rant about like joggers because I'd only started driving.
Yeah.
And when I started driving, the town that I was driving in, it just seemed to be that they would always run with their backs to the traffic at nighttime, wearing black on the road with a perfectly massive, pedestrian and bicycle width footpath right beside them, and they're running at night with their backs to me on the road wearing black. And I'm like,
what the hell? This makes so much sense.
Yeah, if you're going to commit suicide, don't include me in it. Like, you know.
I don't want that on my conscience, for God's sake.
No, it's damage to the car, mate. I mean, come on. You know, my insurance was high enough. I was a first-time driver. Come on. Yeah. But it was, those would be my tweets. So if anyone ever goes back on that, it'll either be that or my shameless promotion of this podcast. That's about it.
There's no shame in this. How dare you?
I've been shilling it. I've been like, come on. Podcast, and all 5 views and my
that money we paid those Chinese bot companies really aren't working.
No.
You know?
I think we got screwed.
I really do. It seemed such a good deal at the time. Yeah. But you know who's speaking of joggers, I kind of got into jogging
Yeah,
last year.
so you have.
Yeah.
Just make sure you run on the right side of the road, wearing
I
a high
do. Well, I run during the day. I don't tend to run during the night. Don't like just running at night.
footpath where necessary. Like,
Yes, absolutely. But Jason has also gotten into jogging recently.
of course he has. Of course. Yeah, tell him I'll be looking for him.
Oh God.
But I suppose I should probably circle back a little bit to Star Trek. I'm still playing Star Trek Online. You have not played Star Trek Online.
I've never played it once. No.
You're missing out, man. You're missing out.
Yeah, we spoke earlier about my whole possibly joining Pastors New for a different, for work wise. I probably will because I'm finished. I was doing 2 courses at the minute. I finished one. Just as I finished the other, so I'll have a lot more free time in the evenings and stuff. And yeah, I think
great. It's free. There's loads of campaigns. There's lots of players. You play with other people online. Yeah. They're all, because it's a Star Trek game, they're actually all really nice. I joined a fleet called the Skunks Works Division. Now that there's a bit of history behind the name. Actually, they're the guys who came up with the stealth bomber.
Oh wow!
That was the project name. Were the Skunk Works Division. They were the guys who were the aviation experimental team in the U.S. Air Force that came up with the stealth bomber. They did the Blackbird and the B-2. But anyway. So yeah, those guys, and I mean, they're just a bunch of guys from America, England, and all over the place. And I am probably the shittest player on the team. Whenever we're playing a game, I'm usually a liability because I'm just. But they helped me out. They gave me free advice. They're all like, "Hey, how are you? It's great to see you." And they just any advice. Most of them are really veteran players, and it's a really good community. So you should play it.
That's good. Yeah, I know it sounds class, and it was cool because I think we talked about it before when your man Aaron. Eisenberg, that's his name, is Aaron?
Oh, yeah, the guy who played Nog, yeah.
They had like a big vigil where everyone came onto Quarks online and they all had candles and stuff. It was really cool. I thought it was really, really, really nice. Obviously, it's all virtual, it's all online. People didn't actually physically go somewhere, but
they added his name on every location that you play, the hubs, I should say, where the players are. There's always a memorial plaque.
Yeah.
Of all the Frost Kelly and all the guys who played
that passed away, yeah.
Leonard Nimoy, and they added his name then as well. And what was the name of that young guy who played Chekhov in the movies?
Yeah, I know, but I can't think of his name. He's a good actor, decent actor.
Or something like that. Yelich or Yeltsin or something
Yelich,
like that.
Anton Yelich.
Anton Yelich.
Yeah.
But they added those names as well to it. So there you go.
That's cool. No, that's really, really cool. I was telling the lads last weekend about it and saying that I would love to go on. There's a Star Trek cruise that happens most years. I think it's in the Bahamas, and I think it's about 1,200 quid for a week, 2 weeks even.
That's right. Leave the wife and kids behind. I'll go with you. It'll be fine. We'll share a room. It'll be great.
It sounds amazing. It's literally just party with tons of other Star Trek fans. There's Quark bar. There's all actors on it. There's poker. It'll
be great.
It's class.
1 second. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
We apologize for this rude interruption. Well, it's not really that rude, but
professional podcasters here. You know what I mean?
This is real time, baby. We don't edit this. I used to, but it just took too long.
Open. I remember you saying to me about where we seem a bit amateurish, and I sent you that recording. I recorded off the telly of Family Guy, and he goes, "I'm going to start a podcast that has no point and takes up an inordinate amount of time."
But I downloaded this fucking free video editing software, and it must have taken me about 2 hours to edit one episode to make it look cool, and it still looks shit. But if you look back at our episodes, there's like one episode that has that cool thing that your friend made, the Cold Lad, and I still have on the laptop. And I used it.
I'll give him a shout out. It was Paddy Mitchell.
Yeah. Shout out to Paddy Mitchell. He has the stuff on YouTube. But he made a really cool, little logo. Now, look, we thought it looked cool, but if someone that works in graphic design probably looks and goes, lads, that'll probably take me like 10 seconds to do. But sure, look, we didn't care. But it was literally
It's pretty cool.
pretty cool. It was literally the only episode though that there's a little bit of professionalism to any of the production value. Yeah, so.
And it took you way too long.
It took me 2 hours because the fucking laptop kept freezing.
We should open up a Patreon account so that all 5 people who are following this can send me a euro.com.
God. But it's like, I've listened to the lads, I've plugged them a few times now on this to all our 5 listeners, the lads from the Delta Flyer, the Voyager podcast. They have a Patreon account now. I would never, look, not minted, so I don't want to be throwing money at kind of stuff like that. But I listen to them for free on Spotify. But they have a Patreon account, and you get extra stuff like they actually talk to you, which is pretty cool. Like, but
do a Q&A maybe on Twitter or something. You know what I mean? We should put up a little thing. Ask us a question and we'll read it. We'll call out your answers or something. You know,
that'd be pretty awesome. We could do. It'd be cool to do a live stream thing on YouTube, but I think you have to have like over 40,000 subscribers to activate that feature.
I am not 40,000 fake email accounts just for shit like that.
Absolutely not. 10 years later, we're only at 20,000.
I will answer one question now before it gets asked because it's 12 inches and it is. So
he's talking about his forearm, but yeah, look at that forearm, 12 inches.
Veiny as well. There you go.
What about the girth? But yeah, that's yeah.
We should do something fun like that. It'd be a good laugh, yeah. But yeah, we
have to come up with new ideas or just go back to the old ideas.
Back to the old ideas. That would work. I mean, the finer things in life with the salami would be fantastic.
That was pretty cool. Yeah,
that was pretty awesome.
That was awesome. Well, do you know, as you mentioned there, when I said I went home, I was going to the build site. We did go there today, and it's coming along really well. So I floated the idea to you that we could do an episode from there. It's roofed now, so we'll be covered.
Nice. Well, so there you go. For anybody who doesn't know, like, you're building a bomb shelter. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. There you go.
It's cool. Yeah, and the windows are coming next week.
Oh, very cool.
So,
it'll be great.
Exactly. It'd be really cool. It'd be echoey, but it'd be nice.
Well, what I do want to do is I want to have a lads' weekend with you and my friend Lamus, and we'll try to order from his little villa.
He's in Kildare Town-ish area.
Not in Kildare Town. I had to drive to Kildare Town to meet him because he lives out in the bogger arse and nowhere.
Bogger arse and nowhere. Yeah.
He was like, I live out in this place, and I'm like, how am I supposed to find that? He goes, well, you go down this road, you take a left, you take a right. And I mean, like, with his Lithuanian accent as well, I was like, dude, just meet me at Tesco. And I was like, no, just drive. I'll follow you.
Yeah.
Which was an effort because, there's roads that you barely get 1.5 car width on them.
Yeah.
He was obeying the speed limit. You know what I mean? I was following. But
for all you PC wannabes out there,
not going to say that he was breaking the law or anything like that.
No, absolutely not.
But yeah, he was down some borines, all right. Like, that's all I'll say. Like,
Well, you know those roads fairly well. I think we know them fairly well from working that way.
Having lived in this province of Leinster for 37 years, I think I know my way around most of them.
Yeah, and the roads are pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. You can't really get lost in Ireland. You just drive on a road. Eventually, you're going to hit a town, and it's like, I should have slept. And then you turn.
You just turn left there. Go on.
Grand.
Oh Lord.
That's it, dude. We're coming up on 45 minutes here. I think that's enough bullshit for one night. And
no, it's been fun. Good to catch up and to get back on the horse.
What I meant to say to you about Star Trek Online was you should be playing it because you get this week they're giving away 4 free things for every player. Like, they got more inventory spaces, you get new character skins and you get an upgrade for your ship and all that kind of thing. So
savage.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool in fairness. I'm still kind of milling the shit out of FIFA 21, but I think that ship has sailed for me. I'm kind of bored of it at the minute. So
I did the same. I played Days Gone. I think it was the last time I was talking to you. I got it for free.
Yeah.
ago, or a couple of months ago, and I was playing it, and I completed it and everything else. And the 2 months since then have not given me any really good games. There's Black Ops 4, which I don't want because there's no campaign to it. It's all multiplayer. And I was like,
Is it? No.
I like the Call of Duty games, but I like the multiplayer, but I want the campaign as well. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm waiting for next month. Well, actually, this month. Because we're now in August, aren't we?
We're in August, yeah. Jesus.
There you go. No, it'll be like, yeah. So that's it. So, dude, yeah, we got to go. We got to go out to your new build.
We will. Yeah, we plan for that for the next episode, maybe in a couple of weeks.
Definitely.
And we'll go from there. I'm just going to set up our tune for our...
Oh, yes, for our ending.
For ending, if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. And is it? Yeah. Yeah, so this, guys, has been another episode of the Chocolate or Poo podcast. I've been Kevin.
I've been Eamonn, as always.
And as always, don't forget to flush. Oh, wrong one. Production values.
Mickey Mouse organization.
Don't forget to flush.
Don't forget to flush.